Welcome back to another video. In this video, Ryan and I are going to talk about why you should become a recruiter. And this is something that personally resonates with me and Ryan. I came into this industry almost about 10 years ago. Ryan, only a lot more recent, right?
Mhm.
Coming from more corporate sales, and it just absolutely changed our lives. And we've come to really love an industry we had really no idea about. And so if you're sitting on the fence, you have been so for a long time, you're coming in, or you just came in, you got your first job, or you decide to start your own agency, I hope that this video can speak to you all. It's one of those massive industries on track to become $1 trillion industry in the next several years globally. But wherever you are, whether it's Europe or Asia or US, there's so many amazing talent acquisition and recruiting professionals. And we're just excited to kind of give you more of a lowdown, some of the exciting things on why you should consider being a recruiter. Ryan, any early thoughts before we get started?
Yeah, I'm excited for this one because I know before I started my own recruiting journey, I had some doubts. I had some questions. I wasn't 100% sure. And so I think there's just so much opportunity and so much good work to be done in this space that I'm excited to, provide any kind of guidance or support for folks who are looking to kind of do as we've done.
Perfect. All right, let's get started. Number one, got to talk about money, money, money. That's what a lot of us care about, like get excited about. So to kick off here, guys, the earning potential in recruitment, especially working for yourself on agency side, is uncapped. It is unlimited. Whether you are doing all the other different models out there, we're going to keep it simple on this slide. We're just going to kind of reference the first point really for those who are doing more perm direct placements. But in this scenario, recruiters normally earn a percentage of the candidate's first year base salary, typically between 15 to 30%, sometimes a little bit higher. So for example, if your base salary of the candidate that you place is 100K, your fee percentage is 20%, you made $20,000, right? But depending on the industry, the roles, the seniority, each placement can range from maybe 5K on the super low end to 50K. But we like to kind of use a best practice kind of rule of thumb. It should be at least 20 to 30K or higher. Now, when it comes to the staffing and temp side, there's also equally as an attractive opportunity there to make more of a stable weekly, monthly income, but it's a whole different game. There's a whole different caveat, risk, and maybe more of an opportunity for a new video down the line. But you can still make a lot of money in the staffing temp side. But in this time of filming, if you're looking to kind of make the most money as fast as possible, it's really the direct placement, full salaried side.
Staffing and temp agencies, definitely a lot of opportunity, definitely a lot of roles to work.
Are you struggling with getting responses from clients? Are you an established recruiter who is struggling to break six figures and beyond? Are you looking to start recruiting part-time and you don't know how? Do you feel burned out and stuck spending hours and hours each day in manual tasks like sourcing and outreaching and feeling like you have no time to actually run and grow your business? I am absolutely happy to announce that we have launched our own recruitment, educational, and coaching program to help you on your journey. We made sure that everything I've learned in the past 10 years, the tips, the strategies that really helped me build multiple seven figures of placements on my own desk with some of the best companies in the world will be included in there. We'll also be including things like how you can build an acquisition system that brings in clients every month to your agency hands-free, how you can maximize the probability of a positive close during negotiations, how you can automate and outsource your day-to-day operations so that you don't have to spend hours per day researching or sourcing, how you can figure out the new and modern way to scale your agency that minimizes risk and maximize your upside potential. And we've also included much, much more. The best thing about this is not only will you be getting amazing content, but we will also handhold you and be with you every step of the way to make sure that you are held accountable and you crush your goals. We'll also share with you our own tech stack, tools, and plugins we actually use, plus everything else we know about automation and AI to help you save time, work smarter, and not be a slave to your business. The exciting news is that we've actually rolled this out to a select few people earlier this year, and I'm excited to see them well on the way to multiple six figures, with some breaking $30,000 to $50,000 per month already. So if you're interested to be a successful recruiter that can dominate in any market conditions, make sure you click on the link below to chat with another member of our team, and we're happy to chat with you to see if we can help you out. Make sure you jump on this really quickly. See you on the other side.
Any additional thoughts about this, Ryan?
Yeah, I would think for staffing and temp agencies, definitely a lot of opportunity, definitely a lot of roles to work. But as you mentioned, the game's a little bit different, right? You do have some more costs when it comes to setting up payroll and having the employees be under your umbrella. And there are some different nuances where it is, nice to have that stable, consistent revenue. But if your goal is to increase your income quickly, then it tends to pay better if you start more on the direct placement side. So I know that's one thing that Preston and I talk to a lot of folks about is, yeah, staffing and temp is great, but maybe that's something you might want to consider a little bit down the line once you have a really strong hold on the direct perm side of the business.
What we also see a lot of people doing is just doing a direct perm, and then down the line they also add like a new staffing temp branch or something to kind of really allow that weekly, monthly income to stabilize the business. So there's opportunities everywhere, guys. We're just trying to keep it very, very simple here. So Ryan, what are some of the kind of ranges to think about when it comes to performance? And again, this is based on our experience, just to kind of generalize here a little bit, but what are your thoughts, Ryan?
Yeah, recruiting is nice because you don't need to do too many deals to really have a really lucrative income. And especially as you'd mentioned earlier, Preston, how just one deal can be 20, 30,000. Those numbers start to add up pretty quickly the more placements you do. So let's say, for example, on average, your placements are $25,000 a piece. You just need to do 4 placements in a year to hit 6 figures, 4 deals, right? That's one every 3 months. And so when you start to think about math like that, it starts to really click how lucrative recruiting can be. And so we'd say most recruiters, especially those earlier on in their careers, are probably somewhere in this 150 to 300K range. And this is when we talk about these ranges, that's in amount build. So, say 6 deals, 25K piece will get you to $150,000 build. What's nice about being solo, if you choose to go that route, is you keep all of that. You earn 100% of that fee. You don't have to split that with an employer or a splits partner, you name it. So as I mentioned, we see most folks, especially those starting out in this 150 to 300K range, once you get some experience under your belt, really start to get into a flow, you get into your niche, that number does start to rise quite quickly. And so high performers, we peg normally around the 300 to $500,000 mark in billings per year. But really the sky is the limit. The more deals you can do, the more people you can place. That just means higher income for you. So the top of the top are making well north of the 7-figure mark a year in billings. Now, granted, it's a lot more work to get into that point. They're usually folks doing that are high performers year over year. They have some more support systems. They have a really strong network. But absolutely, if that's a goal you're set on, is reaching that $1 million mark, just putting in that consistent work year over year, you can definitely get to that point in recruiting. And I think another thing to think about when it comes to increasing your income potential with recruiting is what niche do you recruit in? So here are a couple that we highlighted with finance, engineering, and healthcare that tend to produce some of the highest billers of recruiting, because not only are these roles often always in demand, no matter the economic atmosphere, but also the roles into these industries tend to pay super well. Think if you're recruiting someone on Wall Street and making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 base salary, a 20% fee from that is going to look a lot higher than if you're placing someone with a $60,000 salary, right? So when it comes to your own income potential, you also want to think about what niches, what roles should I work that have the highest salaries, which will then get me the highest fees. What are your thoughts on that, Preston?
My last thought for this slide is, if you're wondering what is the main difference between the top 1% and like the average recruiter, it really comes down to a lot of the stuff that we've talked a lot about in previous videos. So make sure you go back and you kind of take a look and you watch those. But it really comes down to just like your work ethic, your fundamentals, how efficient you are with utilizing the best in class automation and tools out there, and the ability to just be persistent and doing consistently. And while finance, engineering, and healthcare, while all of these are, yes, higher paying niches, I think with the right fundamentals, the work ethic, with the right tools, the right strategy, you can be making this type of income, the top 1%, top performing income, really in any sector out there, right? But just to kind of give you more of a visual differentiation between average top to top 1%, I hope that this can kind of help you. So I guess moving on to the second slide here, I think what really attracted me in the beginning, and I think what attracts a lot of people to kind of come in and start their own practice, is the opportunity to be their own boss, to be their own CEO, to be and live life on their own terms and be absolutely flexible in terms of how they want to run it, and like the work-life balance and all that stuff. So recruiting offers you the chance to be your own boss, your own CEO right now, set your own schedules, build a business on your own terms. You can, you have a lot of options, which is the coolest thing about this. You can work as a solo recruiter and answer to no one, which is amazing, because recruiting is one of those things where you don't really need a team. If you know what you're doing, you can be making a lot of money, find tremendous success, and have an amazing solo lifestyle business for yourself. The first 5 or 6 years of my solo career, that's what I did. That's amazing. That's all I wanted. If you want a bigger challenge, you can also go out there and scale a team. And how do you do that? Do you do it domestically? You can do that as well. Or do you kind of take advantage of international talents, maybe international VAs, or maybe a combination? Like, you can really pick your own trajectory and pick your own journey here in terms of how you want to build your own business. There's no one cut way to do it. If you have a goal, there's a lot of different ways for you to be able to make it to the top. Now, what about like agency owners and partnerships and other kind of benefits to on that side, Ryan? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, of course, one of the biggest benefits of recruiting is that ability to be your own CEO. That doesn't mean you have to be this lone wolf, just you versus the world, not working with anybody, right? There still are a ton of ways to be able to partner, collab with other, industry titans or other recruitment agency owners, whoever you want to work with in this space. And so the first thing we always talk about too is building out your personal brand. Whether it's on LinkedIn or YouTube, wherever you see fit, the more that you can show the world who you are, what you're working on, why you are the best best recruiter out there and why everyone should work with you, you are going to see that instead of you having to do a lot of outreach to find new clients, to find new candidates, a lot of these people come to you. And the stronger brand you have, the bigger ability you have to, work with other agencies on other roles. You can work on splits communities and, work together with other people in your niche. And it really all comes down to the ability to help you make more placements, right? If you have this strong, client or strong batch of clients that are hiring, but Preston is also working on these type of roles in this industry. If you guys both have that strong brand, that each other are working on these roles, that's a great opportunity to partner, work together, and utilize each other's candidate. Preston has a great candidate pool. I have a great candidate pool, but putting that together allows you to do more deals. Putting my candidates to Preston's roles and vice versa just helps you expand not only the deals you can do, your personal brand, but help you just be more successful in general. So I always like to highlight too that yes, you get to be your own boss, you get to call the shots, make your own decisions, but there is plenty of opportunity to work with other agency owners, work with other recruiters on roles, collab in whatever way you see fit.
It's such a great business to be a CEO, or maybe to experience you being your first CEO in your life. Like, you're working with amazing companies, working with equally amazing talent, building such fantastic relationships. And then there's a lot of support systems out there, partnering with other agencies and other sort of partnerships that can make it just as fulfilling and lucrative. And sky's the limit in terms of how you want to take it. And so it's really, really a fantastic business opportunity to look into if you're very entrepreneurial. So let's move to the next slide. Lifestyle business. Ryan, what are your thoughts about this?
Yeah. And recruiting is also nice because of the minimal overhead that you need to not only get up and running, but also to be successful. I know there's a ton of super awesome, super exciting recruiting tools out there, a lot of them that we use and we recommend to folks all the time. But at its core, you don't need a lot to start as a recruiter. You need a computer to research roles, to find candidates. You need a phone to call clients, to call candidates, and you need Wi-Fi. You need an internet connection. That's really it. If you have those three things, the sky is the limit for you. And definitely, of course, we get to talk for days and days about all these fancy bells and whistles that can help you improve. But at its core, at its bare minimum, you just need those three things to be successful. And so with that, recruiting has really become a global practice, right? Not only working together with other recruiters in different locations, but you get to work on roles in different locations. So, we are in the US, I'm on the East Coast, Preston's on the West Coast, but we all both work roles all over the country, right? There's no need for us to be in the exact location where we're recruiting because of this digital nature of recruiting, which is super nice. Preston, if you don't mind saying a little more about if you did want to use some tools, if you did want to, have a little bit of budget for some fancy bells and whistles, how could that help you with your recruiting business?
Yeah, so recruiting is one of those beautiful things, guys. It's such a simple business, right? Like, you can make a lot of money and you can keep the overhead and expenses super low. So even if you had all the money in the world, there really shouldn't be a reason for a single person on their own recruitment desk to be able to spend more than $300 to $600 per month. And if you're looking at this right now in 2025, it's such an exciting time to be a recruiter with all the really great technology and modern tools and platforms out there that didn't exist 3, 5, 10 years ago, right? Automations and AI to freelancing platforms, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's easier than ever to create an amazing business. Now, everyone thinks when they think of business to be very complicated, but I want to stress again on how simple this business actually is. And what really kind of attracted me in the beginning was really this lifestyle. I'm like, wow, all I really needed in the beginning was literally a computer, phone, and internet. And if I'm able to kind of back that up, I'm able to make an income. I had no idea I was going to make the level of income that I made. I think my first year I cleared over $524,000, the most money I've ever made in my entire single life. But what blew my mind was more like the lifestyle, because at that time I loved traveling. Ryan loves travel. I love to travel to different states. I like to travel to different countries. And oh my God, I can still run my business and still make an income, support our lifestyles just in all time zones around the world. Of course, you have to adapt to where you are time zone wise, but it was just absolutely fantastic. And I'm like, wow, all the Instagram pictures and YouTube videos I'm seeing of people living the digital nomad life, I'm like, I'm actually living that myself. And so it was crazy how it just came to be for myself, but that's what recruiting can do for you. And if all you want is to just be a solo recruiter and you want to make a good income, it doesn't have to be ridiculous, even 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, maybe 50, 60, 70K, right? Recruiting can do that for you. And you can take it as far as you want to go, or if you want to just do 1 or 2 placements a year, you can do that as well. Even not just a lifestyle business, but even a fantastic side hustle on top of a full-time job. A lot of people coming through our program right now have full-time jobs, and we're helping them do 1, 2, 3 placements, a handful of placements a year on the side, plus a full-time salary, plus benefits, which is amazing, right? And so recruitment is one of those things where enjoy the lifestyle. Like, people always want to skip the fun lifestyle. Like, well, I want an employee of 10 or 20 or 40. Like, that's great. If you want to go for global domination, do it. But the bigger your business gets, the more stressful it gets, the more complicated it gets, the less your profit margin goes, skills, enjoy like being a badass solo recruiter, enjoy running a small team, making a lot of revenue and a lot of income for yourself and living a great life.
Yeah. And I'll say too, you can also do both. You can start out just like you did, Preston, spend a couple years going solo, live the lifestyle, just have that flexibility. And then when the time calls for it, when you get that itch, build a team. It doesn't have to be one or the other necessarily. So it is nice to have that flexibility to really choose which route you go within recruiting.
Absolutely. All right, next slide. So I think the greatest thing about recruiting that can't be oversaid or overstated is that while you are a recruiter, you are leveling up your skills in ways that you are aware or possibly in ways that you just are unaware, right? The skill sets and the things that you learn as a recruiter as you go through your day-to-day will be easily transferable to any other business, career, job, relationships, friendships that you have in life, right? Not to make the list too big, but as you can see here from sales and negotiations, how to communicate. I mean, we communicate with everyone, your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, your colleagues. Like it just helps you level up and it just helps you get confident talking to people that you may or may not even know, which is still an important skill that you need when it comes to corporate work or starting a business, especially for yourself, right? Other things like multitasking and technology and learning how to just be fully efficient and optimizing and managing so many things at the same time while staying sane is something that you learn whether you like it or not as a recruiter, managing multiple candidates, multiple processes, multiple interviews and offers. Like it just teaches you how to be super organized, how to prioritize what you need to do that day and rinse and repeat for the following day and for the following week. Ryan, can you speak to like emotional management? What about grit and persistence? I mean, I can talk on and on about
Oh,
these
yeah.
two specifically.
Oh, yeah. These are the last two, but definitely not the least. Recruiting, as we all know, has some high highs and has some low lows, right? As with anything, it is a people business. And so you do come into contact with different personalities, and there is going to be some conflict. You're going to have some tough conversations. Things aren't going to always go your way. And if you let those negative events just take over and make you just kind of, throw in the towel, give up, you're not going to get super far in recruiting. And so you really do have to learn how to manage your emotions. How do you not celebrate too hard when things are going great? How do you not get too down on yourself when things aren't doing too great? And all just about managing where you are, controlling what you control and accepting what you can't. And just, again, being consistent day over day. Because at the end of the day, none of this is personal, right? If a client denies a candidate, it's not personal. If a candidate rejects an offer, it's not personal, right? You got to think this is all, business transactions and everyone's thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about you. So you got to keep that mindset and always think, what would this other person think? Put yourself in their shoes and just really build up your people skills because that will serve you super, super well, not only in recruiting, but as you mentioned too, in other aspects of your life, and whether it's in future jobs or your relationships. All of these skills are, of course, super helpful in recruiting, but also impact other areas of who you are as a person.
Everything successful in life requires grit, persistence, and work, right? It's very easy to get into a honeymoon phase, whether it's a new relationship, whether it's a new job, a new business, but that quickly goes away. And then you are now like, you reached a point like, oh my God, this takes work and consistency over time, right? And I think the sooner that you can learn that, oh boy, will that be super helpful in all facets of your life. And lastly, at this last point, every single company on this planet recruits. If they have an employee, they recruit. And so by you becoming a recruiter, you become an authority, someone that they can reach out to, someone that will always have valuable input to any business on this entire planet. So like you are learning an important skill. It's not a made up skill. It's not something that only a small fraction of people, the businesses on this planet do. Every single business, big or small, recruits. And by you coming in and learning recruiting properly, man, like you can provide so much value and so much input to everyone out there, from small businesses to entrepreneurs to corporate executives, right? And that is also super, super cool. So I guess to wrap everything up, Ryan, we listed all the points here again. You want to just kind of take us through it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So as a quick summary here, firstly, the high earning potential, especially when one deal can get you 20, 30, 40,000, just doing a few deals a year can get you well into six figures or seven figures if that is your goal. And all the while being your own CEO, you can choose to go, solo, be your own boss. You call all the shots, no one to report to, no one reports to you. But also if you want to build out a team, as you said, global domination, I like that. If that's the route you want to go to, there is definitely potential for that as well. Also, lifestyle business. You just need a phone, a computer, and an internet connection. You have those three, you're golden. That's all you need to get those deals in. And with that, lifestyle business, as long as you have internet connection, doesn't matter if you're in the US, doesn't matter if you're in Europe, Africa, Asia, wherever, as long as you got the internet connection, you're good to go. So really have this business morph to your specific lifestyle. And also, as we are seeing, the job market is heating up as well, right? So there is a lot of opportunity, a lot of roles to work, no matter what industry you're in. And as well, recruiting skills are skills that'll serve you for a lifetime, not only career-wise, but also personal too. So not only the financial benefits, the lifestyle benefits, but also on the more personal side as well, being able to build up your own character and skills within recruiting is super unique opportunity.
Guys, just to end this, to add one more bonus tip, and this is something that means so much to me. And I didn't want to make this an actual slide because I talked about this a lot, but if you're looking at this for the first time, it's just the opportunity to literally make a lasting impact on people's lives, right? And that's aside from the money, aside from the business aspect of it, you should also come into recruiting. Like, I want to help people. And then like to get these calls and emails from founders or candidates saying, I got my dream job, or I changed my family's life because of you, or you changed my business's revenue, sales targets because of the hire that you helped us with. That's the reason I'm still in recruiting after all these years. It's just aside from the money and the checks and placements, all that's great, but all that's the same compared to many other jobs out there. Like, what really makes recruiting special is the human interactions and relationships, and then just the real day-to-day true impact, the genuine impact that you can have on people's lives. And I'll tell you, it never gets old to get these mails or gifts from people. It just honestly is an amazing feeling, and I'm sure Ryan can attest to that. But whether you're looking at this for the first time or you've been sitting on the fence, like, take the plunge. Recruiting is amazing. Whether you want a career, whether you want a fantastic job, or whether you want something entrepreneurial, or you want to start something as a side hustle, there is everything for anyone in recruiting. Again, with both of us, we never thought recruiting or recruitment was in the cards for us. Didn't even know it existed, to be honest. But now that we're in it, we love it, and it continues to be an amazing opportunity. Don't be scared about what's happening around the world, and don't be scared by thinking there's too much competition. There's competition and saturation everywhere. That just means the market is really healthy. Just focus on what you can contribute, be the best that you can, and how you can serve companies or candidates the best way that you can, and in your own niche, and carve your own identity and as an authority. So Ryan, from when you first started to where you are now, any last words from just your personal experience being a recruiter?
If you're thinking about it, do it. That's all I'll say. It's been quite a ride. I learned a ton, had a lot of fun. Would highly recommend it to anyone else out there who's on the fence.
Well, perfectly said, Ryan. I guess that's a fitting way to end it. But guys, if you want to see more videos, read me and Ryan, comment down below. Happy to make any video, continue this series for you. He's also one of the main coaches here at the Recruiter School, going to be with you every step of the way, because all we care about is results, results, results for our students. So hope this gave you some value. Hope you learned a thing or two, and we really appreciate your time. And both of us will see you on the next one.
All right. See you all. Thank you.